there's so much further you can go with a group of people who are trying to share your ambitions. We want to make a difference in water, and we need technologies, and we are using our network in Quebec, which is a large network. More brains in universities, more brains in technology centers. Investissement Quebec is not only holding on to those investments that help all of us, but they're also opening doors for us. And that's why we're here. We'd love to work more in New York, work more in the U.S. We're very in our rehabilitation water technologies. We're very much Quebec, Ontario centric. But I think we could do a lot for North America. We're running into water shortages, and I would say everyone can help each other to try and figure out how do we solve these problems. And so we are very appreciative of the support that we get in Quebec from all the organizations that surround us.
No, absolutely, and I think the speed of deployment is key in all of this, right? We need to talk about how do we get these solutions faster. Like, all of you have technology, solutions, capital, something that you can contribute to that speed. So let's talk a little bit about what are some of the challenges you've seen when it comes to adoption. We've already talked through some of them, but Sammy, if I can go to you, what are some of the challenges you see as you scale your startup? I mean, your company's 2 years old, so it's really hard.
For a startup, it's pretty simple. It's financing.
Yeah.
Finding people to give us money to work. Because, like, going back to the last subject, how to move faster. We startups move fast. Older companies, I have nothing against you. But
I thought you were my friend.
Older companies.
Remember, I want to help you.
You need friends.
Exactly. But yeah, older company moves more slowly, so it's by combining both that we can go faster. But older companies, people that finance startups and everything, that's what we need to as a startup to go faster for it, because developing our solutions, it takes money, and deploying it takes even more money. So the main challenge is really having access to capital.
And I hate to break it to you, but it doesn't slow down. I've been at this for 10 years now. We're raising again now, so it's a never-ending story, and absolutely, I think one of the greatest barriers, and certainly in Quebec, it's part of the reason I'm here in New York, is that raising financing in a relatively shallow pool in Quebec, you need to go beyond. So we've raised or that's not true. I'd say more than half of our financing has been outside of Quebec. We've had generous support from our own government, which is very important. But for our growth capital from here on in, it's very likely to be mostly coming from outside of not just Quebec but Canada. So it doesn't stop. You need to keep going, and frankly, that's a good thing, because we need to scale the solutions as fast as we can to be able to, in our case, find more emissions worldwide, help the project developers identify which ones they're most effective or most cost effective first to implement, and then ultimately reduce emissions.
I work with young and old companies. And to be honest, I think it comes down to people as well, because we need people that are resilient, that have a vision, and they have also convincing argument to raise money and to change politics. So when we invest in people and develop the entrepreneurial skills, but also the people skills, the soft skills that can actually make our decision makers and our entrepreneurs making a real change out there, it can really help to speed up the process.
I hate to say this, but unfortunately in North America we can still afford to waste resources. A lot of our resources are still pretty cheap compared to other areas. And the biggest challenge that we face is this, and so I think we need more regulations, and it's hard to say, politicians can't say that, but we look at things like local law 97 here in New York City. It's unbelievable the impact it has in the market, because it puts a price on carbon and it forces people into action, and that's, I think, the main challenge that we have is around that, is we need more regulations.
Amen.
Yeah. Definitely hearing you on the regulations bits. Is there anything else that you all would like to see in terms of how we bring these technologies to new customers and to new markets? Like, what else should we be thinking about?